Hi, I'm Luke Frostick. Um, Turkey has this fantastic history of vampires, and what a lot of people maybe don't know is that Vlad the Impaler, obviously, was an Ottoman vassal who rose up in rebellion against the Ottoman Sultan. So I wanted to write a story that was playing around with that real history. Yeah, that's kind of where the story came from. Um, to be honest, I saw the open call for submissions for vampire themed stories, and I'd had it in my head to write a vampire story based in Istanbul. Istanbul's always been has seemed to me like a good place to set a vampire story. But yeah, I saw the submissions call and thought, I'll have a go. I'd had some ideas about what shape a vampire story might take, and I sort of I wrote it out and sent it over. That's kind of what happened. Um, Obviously I didn't work on it solidly, but it took me about a month. Something like that. I can't recall exactly. Hmm. That's a little bit unclear. I think yeah, that's a good question. I don't think I'd really thought that through. Give me a second. From what we're told in the text, it's a little bit unclear exactly what a vampire is, but I sort of have an image of a quite classic vampire, um, something that wouldn't be totally out of place in a Bram Stoker novel. That's sort of where I was going with it. Yeah, so for most of my money, I'm an English teacher, so I can kind of live anywhere. I did a couple of years out in Japan, and I loved it there, but I wanted something very different. I was feeling a little bit closer to Europe, but somewhere that's quite different. Istanbul ticked all those boxes, and it's an amazing city. It's a really interesting place, really beautiful, and just a fascinating place to spend time. Well, it normally is. This year, obviously, it's just been my apartment. Yeah, I don't think there's a huge difference between the way that sort of the novel, anyway, developed in Turkey and the West. Um, if you look at, well, I'm going to give quite a nerdy answer, but if you look at early sort of Turkish novelists, they were very much drawing from Western novelists. I would say the big difference, however, is that Turkish literature often incorporates a lot of kind of Turkish folk stories and draws inspiration from Turkish folk music. So that's, I think, a big difference between what makes quite a lot of novels, like someone like Yashar Kemal, feel very different to novels you get in Europe. I'm a big fan of a bow and arrow. To be honest, the smallest place I've ever been was where I grew up. I grew up on like a farm out in the middle of nowhere in the English countryside, so nowhere's ever been smaller than that. See, after that, I've ended up living in like the biggest cities in the world. If I had a pet dragon, what would I name it? I think I'd probably have to call it Puff. Um, well, Yeah, so I'm working on a couple of things. I've got a few little short stories that I'm playing around with, and I'm in the process of writing a novel, which is taking up most of my time. Yeah, I'd like to give a shout out to my girlfriend Merve, who's been a really great help in all my writing endeavours.